Alright, like I said, we're gonna do all perfectly awful. Greetings, sir. I am Debray, student of the nutritional science from Professor Gallagher's Research Laboratory. Pray excuse me at your service. If I'm not mistaken, you're the culinary who has come to us by way of. Who is cool? I'm sorry to say, but who is that? I keep seeing that name over and over. Oh. Okay, I know who that is now. Oh. I just realized that last name is the same as Chloe from Zoe. Are they family? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I am. Kinda. Wonderful. I would very much like to request your help with a certain. Oh my god. Forgive me, my stomach is not entirely at its best. Bid me try a sample of a newly created costume comestible. You see, the taste was well. The taste was well, the texture, well, dear. Perhaps you should just experience it firsthand. One mouthful is worth 1,000 words, after all. Pray join me over at Maker's Meat. And I can initiate you in the wonders of experimental food stuff. Yeah, that sounds like a bad thing to do at this early in the morning. This early in the morning. Hi. Thank you ever so much for coming. Let's see the table. Let's set the table for you, shall we? Get a barf bag. Get me a bucket. On first inspection, it seems to be ordinary local bread, yes? Now try a slice. Sure, when you get me a barf bag, bucket. The initial flavor is so complex as to be unidentifiable, which gradually transitions into a hauntingly unpleasant aftertaste. It is quite possibly the worst thing you have ever eaten. Doesn't it taste awful? When it comes to the perfect meal, flavor is irrelevant. Excuse me? I wasn't. Why, the very concept of gourmet cuisine has led to all manner of unhealthy excess. Too much salt, too much sugar, too much fatty content is employed in the pursuit of satisfying this obsession with taste. Yeah, because who wants to eat garbage? You want to eat something with no taste? Go outside to the garbage bin and eat that. The rest of us, we're gonna have taste with us, our food. The pan and loaf we are laboring so hard to produce will contain everything necessary to sustain an adult body in one effort. Efficient, easily consumed serving, as I said, perfect meal. If I might introduce Bithalic. Isn't that one of the gods? Because I'll tell you right now, I think even he would have been like, why are you forsaking taste here? I'll ask him when the time comes, after all. Yeah, he's the guardian deity of Charlene. And the teacher of Fire. Ooh. Yeah, I think even he would have been like, where's the taste at? All this time wasted on idle chatter. If we are ever to attain true perfection, then every spare moment must be spent upon our research. Oh god, he's one of them people. Your task was to improve the panelist's digestibility, was it not? Then let us be getting on with it. Swift, sure, and efficient. He's one of them people. You must excuse the professor's plus matters. I know he seems eccentric, but the field of nutritional science was practically built upon the foundation of that man's research. Surely you've heard of the infamous Archon loaf. It was Professor Galvaroche who proposed the recipe. Yeah. And then somebody decided they got sick of it and made The Last Stand, and now it's popular. And now that place is popular compared to the loaf. In any case, I do apologize for serving you such a foul-tasting creation, but I needed you to understand the gravity of the situation. Come to The Last Stand, and I shall offer you something to cleanse your palate. Why more fully explain the issue at hand. Days without the power to feed. Okay, I can't gain access to, okay. Because I'm just going to do them all at once. Pray take a seat, and I shall be with you in a moment. Bring me a burger. God, that sounds so good now. I hope you still have an appetite. What the? Oh, yeah, now that's food. When I'm not studying, I actually work here in the kitchens. And that, when there is a dish I devised myself, using all the knowledge I acquired about food and flavor. Enjoy. Incredible. It's as if my tongue has been purified by some divine act. I'm so glad you liked it. What you do is, you take a lobster, freshly caught from the indigo deep, scoop out the meat, and saute with butter and olive oil. Next you steam in white wine, but you must take care not to overcook it at this point. You then need to stuff it back into the shell, sprinkle liberally with thyme, oregano, and rosemary before baking in the oven at a steady heat. Not too hot, of course. And then... Yes, thank you. I'll take your word for it. My apologies. As you may have noticed, cooking is something of a passion of mine. Which brings us to my present problem and the reason I so definitely require your assistance. All began when agents of the Forum contacted seeking to draw upon his wisdom and the nutritional expertise of his research facility. Their request was simple. They wished him to invent a singular meal that could provide all the daily nutrients a person needs to survive. AKA, they want one food that can do everything for them so they don't have to buy actual real food, which will which is costly. That's what this sounds like. They expressed their intent to develop a food supply for emergencies. Oh, yeah, okay. I take back what I said. They kind of need something because of the whole moon situation. And thus, the only condition imposed that it be possible to prepare this miracle dish from ingredients readily available in Labyrinthos. For his part, the professor threw himself into the work with routine intensity, using arc loaf as a base to devise a new type of bread, the most recent batch of which I inflicted upon you earlier. Archon loaf was never praised for its flavor to begin with, and it seems the more nutrients you pack into the mix, the more revolting it becomes. Yeah, some volunteers have even been known to wreck up the contents of their bellies after choking down a sample. Suspecting and a difficulty with digestion was to blame. Professor Gora asked that I work on making our meal easier to stomach, but the fact is, it simply tastes terrible. Can you imagine if there truly was some emergency and we were forced to live on Panalope alone? People would survive, of course, but gods, would they wish they hadn't. Yeah, they would wish for death before they eat that, most likely. To make matters worse, the professor sees gourmet cooking as a wasteful abomination. If the forum adopts his recipe, there is a very real chance he might champion Panalov, not only as a candidate for emergency supplies, but as a new nationwide food staple. By and large, Charlene prefers meals that are easily prepared and easily consumed over more flavorful but less time efficient culinary efforts. Scholars busy with their research will settle for sandwiches more than often than not. Because, yeah, because they're always so busy, so they don't actually have time to make real food. But why don't you just have a kitchen? A special, like a kitchen, and you just call it in. Call your order in and be like, yeah. And that attitude towards food is exactly why I fear this horrible bread might actually be accepted into our everyday diets. Ew. As with Charlie and myself, I never had much interest in fine dining. Then I tried a dish at the last stand, and it was as if an entire new world had opened up before me. I soon discovered that a course in nutritional science would grant access to a vast repository of information on recipes and ingredients. So I enrolled as a student at the study of faculty of medicine. But their approach to food preparation was purely academic, utilitarian. I reasoned that if I was to learn anything about gourmet cooking, then finding employment here would be the safest, shortest route. In fact, I was on the brink of abandoning my formal studies altogether when this request came in from the forum. As a lover of fine foods, nay, as a person with a functional tongue, I am compelled to prevent this crime against cuisine from entering society in its current form. Fortunately, I have the opportunity to improve the Panaloaf flavor under the guise of carrying out the professor's instructions. It will, however, be exceedingly difficult to enhance the taste without sacrificing any nutritional value. Especially considering my lack of practical experience. My theory is sound, but when it comes to technical expertise, and that, my dear Coronarian, is why I need you. If you do decide to help, then please, I beg you, come and see me at the Maker's Meet. All this talk of food is making me hungry. But no. But really, I can just run it. If you're gonna make food, give it taste. It has to taste good. Like I said, the only people that don't care for taste is probably people who have no heart or anything like that. Probably no soul. That or someone who has never eaten a good meal ever. That's probably the better option to say. Oh, there you are. Can I assume this means you wish to aid me with my Panaloaf predicament? Charlene's larders must be saved. No one else must suffer as I have. Then I gladly accept your assistance. Praise the scholar for bringing us this savior in our hour of need. Dear me, I just realized, how could I put you through all that and not ask your name? Well then, Ronald, I look forward to working with you. You may now undertake deliveries. Okay. Make it sweeter. Let us get straight down to business, shall we? The main problem with Panalo is that the recipe calls for a wide variety of wholesome substances, resulting in an extremely electric and substantially extremely disgusting mixtures of... Now I managed to bake a slightly less repulsive version by adjusting the balance of ingredients, but the taste remains indistinct and unsatisfying. It needs seasoning of some kind, and badly. To that end, I put together a recipe for a sweetener using those materials which are readily available in Lariatos, not in any amount which would contradict a healthy and nutritious mandate. Of course, concocting the sweetener itself, however, is a job for the experts, and so I'd like to entrust it to you. Very soon, we will have taken our first step to making the panel look halfway enjoyable. They are now available. By delivering... Okay. Alright, what do we got? Cantaloupe. Beet sugar. Basil. Um, what am I doing? Golden beet sugar, lime basil. I gotta make 6 of these, so I need like tons of sugar. 4 times 6 is 24. 24 lime basil. Okay. Oh, of course. Okay, I can do this. Lime basil, light Barbara. Herb. Yeah, like Barbara. I need 6 of these. I'm just get 10. Lambeza. Fine, I'll do that. Bye. Good. Panda loaf. What am I doing? 110, okay. Careful symptoms and a quiet. I gotta get. Where's my advanced touch? There it is. Oh, it's gonna be cutting it close. I can tell you this much, by the end of this all, like, this whole day, I'm gonna be a ruined mess. And I guess it's expected. It's just one of these things I have to stop doing to myself, is trying to do patches early in the morning when they come out. That's fine though. Please tell me this. I got them all right. Got them. Thank you, Ronald. After taking a little taste, I can safely say that you managed to hit the sweet spot. Not overly mild, and not overly rich. With your sweetener added to the mix, I went ahead and baked a second test batch of Planet Loaf. As for the result, well, I took some samples over to the last stand for the customers to try. And they said the taste was passable, which is a significant improvement over the nausea-inducing wretchedness of the original recipe, as I hoped. A little sweetness was instrumental in tying the myriad flavors together. The key here being a little sweetness. We wouldn't want to go overboard and endanger the nutritional balance of a perfect meal. On food of our Reddickers is at his table today, and he is a man with a decidedly particular palate. Why don't we head over and ask for his impression of our second batch? If I may ask, what did you think of the bread, sir? Not bad. Not bad. I give the flavor a passing grade. The texture, however, needs some attention. Ah, the texture. Just not overly noticeable with a bite-sized sample. After one or two full slices, I fear one might begin to struggle with the somewhat dry and powdery consistency. I had not considered that. Thank you for your most valuable insight, sir. We will certainly keep it in mind for future batches. Well, that was a much needed reminder. In my rush to enhance the flavor, I neglected to account for changes in the texture. Introducing the sweetener must have affected the consistency of the dough. Nothing as ever simple as it. Well, yeah, too much sugar in the dough can mess it up. Improving the texture will be our next task. Then, I'll give the problem some thought. Then we can work together on creating the solution. Aren't you guys just do normal food, and yet if you need your vitamins and minerals and your nutrients, just take a pill. Come on, we have that kind of power. We can just make pills, make medicine. Just take a drug. Drugs are good. We love drugs, right, guys? I'm over here snorting corrupted crystals after all. When I'm not doing anything else. Ronald, my partner in Panalo improvement. I've been researching the subject of texture, and I think I've found the cause of our powdery problem. The answer lies in the yeast. It seems the sugar content of the sweetener weakened its usual effects, preventing the dough from being fully leavened. Which means that we can create a yeast more properly suited to sweetened dough. Then our bread will be as moist as we can make it. We care to make it. Knowing that, however, is not quite the same as doing. While I understand the basics, formulating yeast from scratch is rather beyond my current abilities. Once more, I must call upon you to rise to the occasion. I'm sorry. Wow, we made a jump. Sorry, I'm trying to. It's another song. I have to type out. View the new lists. How much do I need? Okay, these need to be 140. Palm sugar. Palm sugar. Sugar. Whoa. What the? I need 24. Amra is 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Luna. 6 of these things. gonna be honest, when you're not rushing, like when you're just relaxing and doing it, it's like yeah, when you just relax and just play the game with music going on in the background and stuff, at like over 3:30 in the morning, it's like yeah, this is fun. This is more fun. That's wonderful. My reasoning is correct. Who remembers Creed? By the way, if my reasoning is correct, then this should be compatible. Compatible with our sweet dough. Just let me eat it. Let me taste the yeast in the dough. Thanks to all your hard work, the third test batch of Panalope turned out just as moist as we hoped. Perhaps too moist. And all without compromising the original integrity of the natural content. I mean nutritional content. It was well received by the clientele at the last stand, and even our difficult to please regular gave it his seal of approval. I would, however, like to hear the opinion of, to my knowledge, foremost gourmet and Charlotte. I speak of Master Dickon, the owner of the last stand. Everything I know about gourmet cooking, I owe to that man. Come, why don't we go and see what he has to say? Yeah. This is the same man that ate Archon loaf and was like, I can't do this. It's like, no. What did you think of the third batch? What do you think? Ah, it's a decent loaf, alright. That's what? Certainly a far cry from what you started with. That very first sample tasted like a sponge fished out of a sewer ditch. Oh god. I expect you have your new friend to thank for this sudden leap in progress? Hello. I swore a vendetta. I swore a vendetta against that foul tasting evil. Oh my dear Ronald, you are a gourmet after my own heart. A crusader for culinary colony. Be that as it may, you yet have work to do. You worked wonders with the taste and the texture, but there's no aroma. It needs a savory scent to draw you in and set your mouth to watering. So it isn't smelly enough. It needs that sweet, sweet bread smell. And so, just try to make some garlic into it, and oh. That'll make me drop everything I'm doing and eat it. Road gastronomics excellence is never ending, it seems. But if that is what it takes to earn your full approval, then we must make on. You remind me of old Mervyn. He was the fellow who built this place. Oh, okay, so Mervyn dedicated his life to bringing fine food to Charlene. And life ended. before he truly accomplished his goal and the last stand passed on to me. Even now, gourmet cooking remains something of a foreign concept in this nation. It's the kind of place where puffed up experts like your professor label their nutritional experiments as the perfect meal, as if anything with such a revolting flavor could ever be deemed perfect. Listen, the last stand was named so for a reason. Where are the cultural outposts, the final defense against those who would condemn Charlian's diet to blandness and minority, monotony. You share Mervin's dream, and I believe you do, that I implore you to carry on his legacy. Oh yeah. Normally when I cook things, I, I do this all the time. When I cook things, I will add like all kinds of seasonings that I like. Truth is, I really don't care if anybody else likes the seasonings in it. All that matters is that I like it, so I put it in there. Like I'll put salt, pepper. Like for spaghetti recently, the 2 times I've made spaghetti on my own since moving, I've put salt, pepper, um, Cajun seasoning, paprika, um, garlic salt, garlic powder into my sauce and mix it all in there. It's so good to me. I cannot stand blandness, actually. Like if I'm eating stuffing, I have to put salt and pepper on it and other things. Mashed potatoes, salt and pepper. Even eggs, I need to put salt, pepper, and I'll put I'll put crab seasoning on it, like Old Bay crab seasoning. Oh my god, yeah. After hearing what Master Dick had to say, I'm more determined than ever to make a truly perfected panalo. As before, allow me some time to coagulate on the problem, and then we can see about adding a tantalizing aroma to the next batch of bread. Like I said, you know, when it comes to bread, you put garlic on bread. Oh, put garlic on bread, put it in the oven. Oh, I'm there. If you can make the bread smell like garlic. Oh. Think I have it, Ronald? I'm having to infuse the panaloop with a more alluring aroma. Say garlic. The key is to blend a more fragrant odor into the dough, which will not only lend our bread a lovely scent, but also improve its savory flavor. Oils and fats need to be kept to an absolute minimum, of course. So we'll need a variety that provides the greatest effect for the smallest amount. I have a basic idea of how a low-fat aromatic substance might be achieved, but oil requires your help with the advanced processes involved to make it. Sorry, that was terrible. Oh, she's over here making puns, and I'm like, please stop. I'm hurting as it is. I'm in pain already. Okay, so what are we trying to make? Oil? Friendly or more? Oh god, I need 26 of each. Okay. and lose and up. Oil. You're kidding, right? Why? Fine. Somebody knew what they were doing there. Grade 5 mind. Grade 5 mind architects. Sorry, what did? And 150, okay. I don't want to go too high. That's the thing. Oh, that's lovely. The scent of the oil lends it up to set belly to rumbling. Essence. We've done it, Ronald. The aroma, the aroma, aroma, the aromatic temptation of our fourth batch has proven irresistible. Last day patrons have even started placing orders for us to bake more. And in a happy coincidence, the new oil has served to plump up our loaf until it resembles a small, scrumptious cloud. I even measured the fat content just in case that we were well within the accepted parameters. Surely now we have achieved the true bakery perfection. I suspect there's only one way to find out. Let's head over to the cafe and ask. Don't leave us in suspense. Huh? It's acceptable. I can have you bake bread that's more delicious than mine. You've outdone yourselves this time. Full marks. Now that we have the master's unconditional approval, I believe that signals an end of the testing process. We make a wonderful team, Ronald. How disappointing to find you frittering away the hours like this in here of all places. You set aside my assignment on digestive issues to pursue the trivial art of gourmet cooking? I'm not denying. That's exactly what I've been doing. And let me tell you why. The problem with Panaloaf was never the difficulty with digestion. It was the awful taste that was making people feel ill. At least you believe our efforts in vain, then I ask you to try a sample of our fourth test batch. I think you'll find the flavor much improved. Nay, I have no interest in your mundane concerns over flavor. The very subject sicken me. What I will do, however, is analyze the nutritional value of your much improved Panaloaf. We shall see if it even meets the criteria for a proper substitute. Ugh. Why'd you eat it? It's a failure. It's sorely lacking in ascorbic acid, a bionutrient meal replacement must contain. Deficient levels of leads to outbreak of scurvy. We're not going to get scurvy on the moon, sir. Oh wait, they don't know about what. It's an illness which often afflicts sailors on long sea voyages. It can also be prevalent in times of famine and hardship. Citrus fruits are an effective measure to combat scurvy, but one cannot always rely on a fresh supply of oranges or lemons as such. The perfect meal choice is one which readily fulfills that role. I've already succeeded in adding a nutrient to my original Panaloaf and am prepared to make my submission to the forum. Acid. How did you expect me to reveal my techniques to one so... I'm sorry, but you are hereby relieved from your current duty. So be it. I will perfect our version of Panaloaf without your assistance. It submits a recipe as a contender to your own. A contest. And may the best bread win. In the event that your recipe fails to garner the foreign's favor, I will see you disciplined for the misuse of research funding. Your punishment will be expulsion from my research facility. Nay, from the studium itself. Professor, if you're so intent on ruining my employee's future, then I think I'm entitled to a question or two. From what old Mervyn told me, the two of you were once classmates. More than that, you were good friends, so I'd like to understand, why do you hold so much hate for the right thing he held so dear? Was an exceptional student, but he threw away his academic career for the love of a well-made meal. This cafe he built, the insensate taste testing, not more than excuses to indulge in course after course of gourmet food and drink, to reckless pursuit of that passion that sent him to an early grave. Your fine dining is a curse. It befuddled the mind of a brilliant young man, slew him as surely as any slow-acting poison. But he died doing what he loved. So, it's not all. Now, if you have nothing further to say, I must return to my research. I had no idea the professor and Mervyn were ever acquainted, let alone classmates and friends. At least now I understand why my actions upset him so. But we cannot give up. For the sake of Charlemaagne's bellies, you must help me win the foreigners' minds. Our crusade for core equality continues. Thank you, Ronald. I shall figure out this issue with absorb ascorbic acid, and then we can start on test batch number 5. Although, I think it's time we had a proper name for her paneler. I nominate Mervyn Bread in honor of the Last Stand's founder. Let's get the oven heated up and show the professor that what we and our loaves are made of. Nice. Yay! The quest continuing the story is now available.